have an opportunity to do these things and to perform these functions, which are really valuable and which within your group mean something. People depend on you and you depend on them to perform these duties. And so actually, far from being a burden, performing these duties actually is a kind of freedom, a manifestation of positive freedom. So I think that although people often talk about religious duties, and we tend to think of duties as things you've just got to do, like getting up very early in the morning to go to work or paying your tax or something. Actually, it may not be right to think of them in that way, and that they really are liberating duties. They're part of a reflection of this new freedom that you've got to be a part of the group and be accepted as a member, someone trusted to do those tasks and so on, which is a kind of liberation in its own sense. But we still haven't quite explained the final sense of freedom and how it's relevant, which is the sense of domination. Now, and I think that in that passage, interestingly, what St. Paul says is that by escaping from sin, which was the blockage, if you remember, to leading a good life, you then become slaves to righteousness. And of course, we have to ask ourselves, what exactly does that mean? What benefit could there be in being a slave to anyone or anything? How could that actually be beneficial in some way? But I think that the reason it is beneficial in a way that being a slave to a human master, however beneficent he might be, couldn't really ever be a benefit. I think that the reason why it's different is to do essentially with the goodness and beneficence of God. That because God is perfectly good and devoted to our interests, unusually, uniquely, one might say, it is actually a huge increase in our welfare or benefit to exchange our subjection to sin on the one hand for our subjection to a relationship of master and slave, if you like, to God. I mean, what Paul says in Colossians is that God has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. Now, the dominion of darkness is where darkness rules, if you like. So you are then under the mastership, if you like, or the control of the devil or Satan. And that probably is the worst kind of slavery that one could imagine, if you like, to be at the beck and call of an evil force. But the relationship with God is the complete opposite of that, or is the turning of that on its head, if you like. That actually we can't, you might even say, fully know or be in the right relationship with God unless we are prepared to submit ourselves and our will to his, if you like, commands or demands, because he is, if you like, over us and in a sense our master. That whilst that might be a big step, if we trust, believe and have faith in the goodness of God, then in fact setting him in a position of dominion over us is to establish the kind of positive freedom, if you like, that will be of ultimate benefit to us.
Thank you so much. A round of applause.